And good morning to you. Hi, hello, and all that stuff. So I'm wearing a green mask today to match my car, and nothing else. This is Good morning from Roost. We're starting out up here this morning because, well, we started out at the bottom last time. And I figured, why make you go all the way up here with me when I'm going to make you go all the way that way with me? Today, we're walking north to south along, what is this trail called again, Ken? This trail. From Robber's Roost out to a place called the Lookout. Now, the Lookout will bring me back to a place where I hiked a few years back. My first hike from Santiago Oaks through Irvine Park actually took me down some pretty dangerous cycling trails because it was my first time out and I just didn't know. So, live and learn. And today we're going to try and stick with the hiking trails. So, the hike shouldn't be as tough. But I will tell you that the other day, by the way, today is Friday, September 25th. It is about 8:15. So the other day when I was out here, I got a major blister on my left foot. And I thought, well, I better lance that and drain it so it can heal. And then the next day, I was out walking the dogs. The next day, I think it was yesterday, I was out walking the dogs and there was that blister. And I thought, well, I better lance this and drain it so I can hike tomorrow. Otherwise, but the thing is in the intermediary time, sorry, don't have my thesaurus with me. In the time that had passed, my blister had flattened out and I couldn't drain it. So he said, switching hands, hi. One of these days I'm gonna get used to this. Honest. And the camera will stop shaking everywhere. Swear to God. But for now, I'm changing hands so that I may hold my phone with my right arm, which isn't nearly as tired. So anyway, the blister had flattened out. I couldn't drain it. So what do you do, fellow hikers on YouTube? Well, let me tell you. You take a big ass piece of duct tape and you duck that son of a bitch. That's right, you duck it. And then no friction and then no blister. How soon do you take off that duct tape? How do you get it off? What do you do? How do you deal with it? Simple, you leave it on there because you're going to be hiking again, so just leave it alone. It is now part of your body. It'll come off eventually. I'm sure mine will. All of mine that now coat the bottom of my foot. Well, maybe not. So, it's been a couple days since I saw you last, and normally nothing at all would have happened in that time. I'm hiking uphill, so breathing difficult. Oh, and there's some cyclists up ahead, so we're gonna have to go around them. So, I tell you what, while I skirt the cyclists, I'll pick you up in a few minutes. Okay, so I'm a little bit cautious when I hike. Yes, I am. I'm a little cautious everywhere. I'm going to be 55 in about less than a month. And I have a lifetime of respiratory issues. So I'm the kind of person who would get COVID. And I've already been far too close to it, to tell you the truth. So, it is really hazy up here. I don't know if you can tell, but I can kind of see the trail. I can kind of see where it's going, but it's not really great for walking. I wish it was cooler. It's actually a little warm. So not a whole lot. No, excuse me, back up. Got that wrong. A whole lot has happened since I last saw you. At least two very important things that I feel compelled to comment on. And oh, I hope this is the right trail, because it sure as hell doesn't look like one. When you're hiking and it's hazy, I gotta tell you, it's an iffy proposition. But the point of this is to have journeys, right? So, the Breonna Taylor ruling came down. Oh, there's Money Rabbit. And I gotta tell you, the cop was found guilty of wanton endangerment because he almost endangered the white people who lived next door while he was killing the black girl in cold blood. There's something about this new racism that has come out from under the rock that is the United States that is just particularly mean, which is not to say that any racism is to be tolerated, but just that this present strain is really, 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 really offensive. The idea that they can just go around and kill anybody they want and say, oops, we almost hurt a white person. I have, that's actually my first comment on this. I have not been commenting because, in case you haven't noticed, I'm white. And though it might be offensive to a lot of white people, I figure I'm part of that problem, because not enough of us stand up against them. And though I march and though I speak out, I haven't done nearly enough. And it really wears down on me. So that's number one. Number two, as I walk towards this sign that says no dumping, it makes me feel like I might be in the middle of a landfill. But it's okay, because it also says speed limit 10 miles an hour. So hey, welcome to California. The other thing is Trump coming out and saying that he would not peacefully relinquish power if he is voted out. We knew that was coming. I mean, he's been making overtures to that for 4 years. So it's not surprising in the least. However, the response that the nation has made to counter this mongrel is very surprising. We've rolled over and given him our belly in so many ways, and it just makes me wonder why. What is it about this asshole that is so different from every other asshole? I don't know. I wish I had some insight. All I know is my hand's stuck in my trekking pole bindings, and I want to switch hands. There, through the magic of editing, we've switched hands, and we're continuing down. It's still really hazy. I don't know if I'm going to get any good shots today. And just because this is a hiking trail and not a cycling trail doesn't mean it's not steep. I'm telling you that as I'm looking at a very steep section covered in sand, which is my favorite because you slip that much easier. Okay, tell you what, we're gonna flip it, walk a bit, and then I'll be back. as I was climbing up that last ridge, I was holding the phone with my left hand, and I got a cramp in my left hand that is so bad, it's still floppy. I can't really make a fist. So I won't be carrying the camera in my left hand again today. As you saw, I am now at my bench. I love the bench. I love benches. Benches are wonderful. Benches are our friend. So I thought I would engage in a little something, a little practice, often done in hiking videos, cyclists, called What's in My Backpack. Before I get to what's in my backpack, I wanted to tell you that I forgot something very important about hiking, a lesson that I've learned many times that I need to stop learning and just remember. And that is always be eating. ABE, Abe, always be eating. When you're hiking, always be eating. And I forgot that I have the perfect practice for this, which is Skittles. I take a bag of Skittles with me. I put them in my pocket. I pop Skittles as I hike. And when I do that, I hardly ever end up exhausted, and I always have lots of energy. It's awesome, and I'm burning off the calories as I'm eating them, so leave me alone. So that is actually in my pocket. I keep that in my pocket. What's in my backpack? Well, let me tell you. First and foremost, water in a water carrying thing. Very important. I always have lots of water, as you will see. Here is my day pack. This is what I carry around with me. It is old. It is probably well over a decade old. I have a tendency to use things until they die, and or until I break them, evidenced by the selfie stick. So here's something I did not anticipate. Opening a backpack while holding a selfie stick is a pain in the ass. So in the main compartment of my backpack, of course, I have my hat, which is nice and folded up. Probably too early to bring it out, but I'm doing it anyway because what the hell, right? Also, I got to put it somewhere. So for now, that's there. Also, in the main compartment of my backpack, I have my tripod, which I hardly ever use, but I'm always ready just in case I find some place where I can set up a shot that looks semi-decent. I also have a bottle of water with a little bit of Mio in it. That's my spare. Always carry extra water. It's very important. And I also carry a fresh, uncracked bottle with me at all times. Why? Because, first of all, put together, those two bottles weigh about 5 pounds, and it's always good to have more weight in your backpack because you're gonna want to get used to it, right? The other thing is, this hat looks so weird. When I was on the PCT the first time, I had no end of very wonderful people offer me water when I ran out. And I will never be able to properly thank them, but I always keep water in case I come across someone who has run out, which I have on a couple of occasions. And I'm always happy to give them water because it makes my pack lighter. So, also in the main compartment of my backpack, I carry my spade. Why? You know, I really don't know because I don't carry my toilet paper. A little bit of beef jerky from 1986. I'm really bad at throwing away things when they get old. Kind of a rudimentary first aid kit, because if you come across somebody on the trail who needs help, you want to be able to offer them said help. And I think that's the main compartment of my backpack. So give me a minute whilst I put everything back inside. Okay, and now we're back for the secondary pouch. Starting with Mios. I always keep a couple Mios on hand to add to my water, or just for fun and kicks. a couple Cliff Bar minis. You can never have enough food because, again, you pass somebody who needs food, it's always handy to be able to offer someone something to eat. A Power Bar and a Cliff Bar mini, like I said, always got enough food. You just never know. And actually, that's all the food I have. So I really don't have as much food as I thought I did. Of course, I do have that beef jerky that no one in their right mind would eat, but would probably be good for instance, if you have a hole in your shoe. So, and then the smallest pouch in my backpack holds just 3 things. My wallet for when I'm driving home and in case I get stopped by anyone who knows, or if I want to buy something, if I stop by, you know what wallets are for. This little wonderful little device, which is actually goes into the strap of your backpack and will hold your bottle. I always keep a second one in case my primary goes down. I'm really water paranoid. I want to make sure I always have some way to get to my water. And a Zip Fizz. If you don't know about Zip Fizz, get yourself in touch with some Zip Fizz. It's very tasty. And that's my backpack. That's my basic backpack. I will add things to that as I go, but for short hikes, which, I mean, today's probably 4 miles, maybe. For short hikes, I think that that's a nice level to have it at. I probably won't be filling my pack for some time. My next planned backpacking trip won't be until next autumn, because next year's PCT is a mess. We made it a mess this year. See, we're good that way. And so next autumn, I'm probably going to head up to Oregon, providing, I have the money and, all that stuff. But the Oregon Coast Trail for me is just one of the prettiest trails. And though it is a bit underdeveloped, you do end up doing a little bit of road walking. I'm fine with that. I'm happy to do it. I like the idea of a trail that goes in and out of populated areas, I like the idea of occasionally stopping by a restaurant. And I think it's a good way to start considering my history on the PCT. So I've been filming a little bit. I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna walk a bit, and I will catch up to you when we're further down the trail. So, it's a cycling trail when they actually have a bike repair station on the trail. I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, I dig that some trails are not necessarily just hiking trails. I can get behind that. So we're heading up toward the lookout, and I know it's a lookout because there's a little sign up there with binoculars. And that is kind of the universal sign for a lookout. That and a guy waving his hands frantically. So, I am waiting for a cyclist to pass, but he's not going to, so I'm gonna go. Right now I'm in between a couple different trails. And there are some people on the lookout, so I'll have to stop to put on my mask. But there you go. So here we are at the lookout, looking northwest, I think is, all the way to south, all the way to east. Now, here's the thing. Right out there, that's Irvine Park. All that green stuff down there. It's not really that green, it's an optical illusion. And I would hike all the way along this little valley, through this dam, and down, and then up those hills, and then all the way up the hill on the other side as part of my training. What I didn't know was how to access all this backcountry stuff without getting run over by somebody on a bike. And I'm very happy that I have found this little back road, this backcountry that I can just hang out in whenever I feel like it, or whenever it's semi-decent out. It is not semi-decent out right now. It's getting hot. The haze burns off, but it tends to almost magnify the heat as it sticks to you. So that's going to be it for me this morning. I'm going to head back down to Robber's Roost. I'm going to head back down to my car. I'm going to go home. I'm going to play Borderlands 3. And I'm not going to do any work because today is my day off. But I hope that wherever you are, this finds you well and this finds you safe. But I'll be back to spend a little bit of time with you next week. I'm thinking that next week I will start filming the reading videos again, if you had any fondness at all for that. But for now, I'm going back because it's getting hot out. You take care of yourself. I'll see you soon. And that's it. Thanks for coming around, and I hope you subscribe, click the like button, and connect with me on all that social media business on the screen.